Hi, welcome. This is going to be a series for all signs, starting with, well, I'm going to actually kind of let Spirit lead and tell me who to start with. But yeah, I really wanted to keep going, seeing how some of these predictions and videos and messages have come through and materialized, and um, I hope that they've been helpful for you. Yeah, I figured why not keep going, and I am, like I promised, going to probably do something with the Odyssey playlist and explain a little bit more about that and how videos came to be and all that. But in the meantime, welcome. Always keep in mind that this is a general reading, so messages may or may not apply to you now, but always keep an open mind, and especially with timing, as messages may come through that clarify the past or help you figure out which way to direct your energies in the present, or give you a glimpse into the future. So stay open-minded to what's past, passing, coming to be, and perhaps this will apply to you later. So what hasn't happened will probably seem unfamiliar. So if you have time, check out the links that I provide below as further clarity, inspiration, visual metaphors for some of the cards and symbolism and imagery that we talk about here. I find that what I talk about in these readings is kind of like half the story, and sometimes some of the same messages or words or things like that are repeated that I talked about in the reading in some of the songs. And sometimes it's the lyrics or just the song title or the imagery and, all that. So just see what stands out to you, and maybe that'll offer you further clarity or depth of information to utilize to your advantage, or just completely clarify some of the things I talked about in the reading. It's kind of fun to see how they interact, also some of the videos and themes and concepts that come through that kind of let that speak for itself. So if you have time, check that out. And so just stay open-minded to how the messages and things may come through in a different context, and see how it could potentially apply to you, and if that's something that appeals to you. And so welcome. This is also my new space, so thanks for staying with me and being patient while I moved into this new space, and hopefully I can get on a more regular basis with this. But in the meantime, and also feel free to write below, comment, or write to me, let me know how these messages work out for you, and if these were helpful or they resonated with you. So, and I hope they are. So thanks again for watching. Thanks for being here. Thanks for your time. And I look forward to doing your readings. So, all right. See you in a little bit. Bye. Hi, Scorpio. Welcome. I guess the universe wanted to start with you. So let's just dive right in. For Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, or if you're just interested in Scorpio energy, for the highest and greatest good of all, what does God, Source, Universe, Holy Spirit, energies of love have for Scorpios? Thought I'd start with an energy, a sign card, just to see if there's a sign that may be affecting Scorpio right now. A little bit of a weird lighting. There we go. Pisces. So another water sign. Maybe that you have a lot of Piscean energy in your chart, or a lot of water energy, or you're just interested in a Pisces, or you have something going on with a Pisces, or, stay open-minded to it. It has to do with spirituality, being mutable, flexible, psychic, intuitive knowledge. Oh, so this is a little bit tilted. I think the floor is a little bit tilted, so, anyways. So, it's a foundation card for Scorpio. Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising. For rods, this does represent foundation. So foundation probably having to do with something of the fire nature, or just a coming together of opposites, beginning something brand new, starting from a good place, having a solid, sturdy foundation for whatever it is that you're working on or doing or embarking on. Just making sure you start things right, and bringing together all your creative ideas, interests, passions into whatever it is that you're working on. Fire and water, Pisces, rods. That has something to do with the 4th house or home. Let's see, further clarity. We're Scorpios. General energies. General. Highest and greatest good. Queen of Swords. So this is someone who likes to say it how it is pretty straightforward, says what they want, but it is an air sign, so, and she tries to get what she wants, so she may be a little bit manipulative, just depending on her personality and other traits like that, but really this is someone who just like cuts through the bullshit, doesn't put up with a lot of extraneous stuff, likes to sort of just like move into a situation, decide what they want to do about it, doesn't waste time, just sort of makes moves, makes decisions fast, probably talks pretty fast. Could be a air sign, Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius, or just someone embodying that type of energy, whether it's you or someone you know. This is saying what you want to say and putting it out there with a strong context, putting it out there with meaning, intention, purpose. It's what's on your mind, perhaps. The 4th house, maybe, things having to do with your home, closest one-on-one relationships, your inner being, your soul, that kind of thing. Maybe speaking what's on your heart, speaking from a soulful place, speaking from a place that really helps you connect both, you know, logic and intuition, that kind of thing. She doesn't, you know, put up with a lot of things, you know. This is someone who just, you know, just like reaching out to someone else, maybe, maybe sending out a phone call or a text or something like that to just reach out and say hi and maybe plan something. Let's get one more card from this deck. She's experienced, whoever this person is, and since this is a general reading, this can be a guy or a girl, just representative of someone who thinks a lot, who has maybe a lot on their mind, a lot on their plate, takes things on, because they have a capacity to sort of just, you know, cut through the heart of, you know, get to the heart of something and cut through the bullshit and just get things done, you know, checks things off their list, that kind of person, and doesn't get bogged down by like the drama and things like that. Reverse, they could be someone who like spreads drama and gossip and that kind of thing, but I don't think any of you are like that. So it's using your head and your heart, I think, so far. Let's see. Further clarity, another card from this deck. Further clarity for Scorpios. The Queen of Swords and the 4 of Wands. This is the 4 of Cups. Came out reversed. So this is taking an interest in something, having something offered to you, someone who has perhaps reached out, and whether or not you notice that or not, it's keeping an open mind, being aware of your surroundings, being aware of what's being offered to you, things coming in, messages maybe, not missing the boat, you know, not missing an opportunity because you're so fixated on this and what you have in front of you. Like sort of like tunnel vision. She could be someone who has very like tunnel vision, like sees what it is that they want, goes for it, you know, speaks their mind, doesn't really beat around the bush, and maybe is reaching out to this person. And another water again, 4 of Cups, can talk about emotional stability, but a lot of times this card means like not recognizing something that's being presented to you. Cups having to do with your emotions, feelings, intuition, guidance, things like that. Something perhaps having to do with love. Maybe having to have like heart-to-heart conversations with someone. Maybe not wanting to hear something, or being fixated on something that you're kind of missing the solution. And, you know, if you were to look up and notice, you'd then have the 4 cups combined with 4 of fire, and you'd have your answer, your solution. Maybe she has an answer for you, and it's just about looking up, you know, looking into all of your possibilities, making sure you don't miss anything, like I said, so that you can come to some sort of agreement, conclusion, come together with someone else. Maybe, like I said, heart-to-heart conversations, just opening yourself up, not being closed off, just being willing and accepting to hear what this person has to tell you. Since this was reversed, it could mean like you just really are not hearing what she has to say. You're not on the same wavelength. You're not like wanting to hear. You're not wanting to see things from a different perspective. But in order to get to this like happy foundation home place where you feel comfortable with someone else, or maybe this is within yourself, but regardless, it's like the coming together of things. Everything's sort of making sense. It doesn't have to be a huge thing. It could be something small, but even if it is small, for a split second, like everything sort of makes sense. Like there is clarity. There is, oh, I see why that had to happen, or I see why, you know, I don't know, just someone did that, or you reacted a certain way, or you said that. You know, sometimes you say things without, like that quote, the heart has reasons that the heart can't know, or something like that, for saying what you, I'm completely messing up the quote. But basically, like, the heart has reasons for doing things that you maybe can't understand in the moment. And that's why it's like you have this sort of tunnel vision. You're not seeing the big picture. You're kind of just fixated on what you have and what you know. And you need to sort of open up and see that there is potentially another possibility that hasn't even been tapped into, or maybe reaching out to someone would bring in further possibilities, further opportunities, further solutions, so that you can have those sort of that clarity of mind where, like, you see everything has its place, its purpose. It's like, you know, it's like a puzzle piece coming together. Beginning stages of that, but still it's a good place to start and to build, and it's sturdy and it's solid, and whether or not this is within yourself or someone else, it's like everything's just sort of making sense. Like, if it's with someone else, you can just sort of anticipate what they're going to say, maybe. If this is talking more about a relationship, you just are on the same page or on the same wavelength, and that's about opening up and saying whatever is on your mind so you can get to know someone as well if you're not at this place yet. So staying open, keeping your wits about you, being open to hearing new things, being open to someone reaching out to you, accepting information, accepting knowledge, accepting help, solutions, new ways of seeing things in. On a very mundane level, this could just be like someone in your house or someone within your like close-knit community, maybe missing a phone call or like needing to reach out to this person and just haven't gotten around to it. So that could just mean like cutting through the bullshit and making time to do that. 4-4, so 2 stabilities and a Queen of Swords. So, and like I always say, you can always refer to my playlists that are ever-changing, but for the most part, I think they offer pretty good representations of the minor arcana and the major, maybe not so much the major arcana, there's a little different there, but the minor arcana for sure, and that might clarify a few more things for you, but yeah, I think it's just, if you're not listening, just try to listen so you can come to some sort of new answer, new solution, listening to yourself, listening to what it is you really feel, what you really think, thinking for yourself, speaking clearly, speaking on things that you know about, so you feel confident in what you're saying. Let's see, this is a new deck that combines this Rider-Waite imagery into different cards, so it's a smaller deck, and I'm still learning it, so I'll probably read from the book, but it's interesting to kind of see how the different cards and energies come together in one card with a new meaning. So that's kind of what I was doing with those mashups too. So just different ways of presenting information, maybe. The Fox. So I know that this background comes from the Knight of Swords and the Fox, and this is like the moon down here, and the Temperance reads, and the Fox is new. So this is someone who's very sly, cunning. You could be someone who's very foxy, you know. Book is on the bottom, so maybe I'll just read the Fox though. So it does have to do probably with another air sign. It's 14. Let's see. Find this quickly. Try to. Okay, so someone who's very clever, could be a con artist, crafty, cunning, deceitful, spy, detective, who's very smart, fraudulent. These are all just things that characteristics that could represent someone that you're dealing with. Intelligent, quick-witted, resourceful, sly, someone trickery, kind of witty. Maybe someone who's a little troublemaker, someone who's a little bit of a rebel, someone who like maybe rushes into things to deliver information without really thinking first, thinking all their options through first, or what they're going to say. Doesn't really hold back information, especially that like Knight of Swords energy. So again, another air sign potentially. Someone who's unconventional and potentially undercover. So the full meaning of the Fox is primarily a card about your 9-to-5 job. It relates to a company job rather than freelance or self-employment. Being sly like a fox. So it just goes, it could go both ways depending on what it is or who it is you're dealing with. When this card is a person in reading, is one of the dubious character, one who is on the lookout for his own best interests over yours. So making sure that you don't, let people into your space, or you don't share too much information with, until you really trust someone. Someone who may or may not be trustworthy. So maybe keeping your cards a little bit close to your chest, but only letting out the right information, being selective in what you say potentially to this person, or within a work environment. It could be like warning not to go into a new situation, too trusting without blind faith, blind trust, just eyes closed, kind of like it's all gonna be fine, like a little bit naive. Maybe just doing some research before you get into a new situation, or just trying to have your wits about you. Or does have the 9 of Spades, so it just could be someone who is very I think of popular, fashion, the traditional meaning, the 9 of Discs. So just kind of having abundance in your lifestyle. You want to say like a lifestyle blog, or especially the communication cards, and it also means you're now working from home. There you go. And I often think of this as home. So timing, it's usually about 2 weeks, 14 days, middle of the month. Bulk of the ideas pulled from the Moon card, and one can spot the tail of a wild wolf fox on the right side of the card. The rest of the body was pulled from the Strength card, with the eye of the fox coming from the world. The energies of the Moon being wild and unknown, the assuredness of strength, and the ability to see the end goal in sight were pretty spot on for this creature. The tall grass is from the Temperance card, the ground from the Moon, and the sky is the easy spot from the 5 of Swords. So maybe any of these, again, swords, 5 letters, or just standing your ground, standing firm with something, winning something that, depending on the situation, could be a bittersweet sort of victory, just depending on maybe grabbing something back from someone, taking something back. So being sure not to deception, treachery, that kind of thing. It's a lot of communication cards have been coming through. I actually did a reading a few days last weekend for the weekend. Maybe I'll post it for this weekend. It cut off completely with the screen. You can still hear my voice, but there's just a lot of cards that came through that were about communication and looking over letters and looking over things. So, like, again, maybe making sure you catch everything, don't miss anything. But yeah, there's a lot having to do with communication that's just been coming up a ton, and delivering information. And the cards that came through in that reading was like the Tower, the Death card, the Four of Swords, and I was like, which is somewhat in a tomb. So I was just a little bit unsure about that reading, and some things that happened over the weekend. So, you know, it's one of those things that maybe going with your gut, like not thinking things over too much and just having, sticking the straight way through, you know, like not worrying too much with things that are maybe more superficial, like, oh, the screen cut out, but you can still hear it, maybe it'd still be helpful, you know, not being overly emotional or having too much tunnel vision, but just like getting to the point, I guess, and just watching out for anyone that you may or may not trust completely. Again, the book here, this has come up a few times in the last few days for me, just randomly, so let's see if I can find it really quick. Maybe about taking notes. I'm not going to find it, actually, because I'm going to try to move on. I'm going to do a love reading at the end, so I'm trying to fit this all in under like half an hour would be great. But the book, I think it's about maybe keeping notes, keeping track of things, again, not missing opportunities, making sure like writing things down. Maybe this has more to do with like spiritual development and personal development, and just wanting to, I don't know, just notice things more, notice the synchronicities, notice the connections in your own life, and how they connect to the world and the heavens and all of that, you know, just sort of writing it down so you can see just how often those things come through. I sort of stopped doing that for a while, and it's true, you just do forget, but I've had amazing, miraculous, kind of random, completely crazy things happen to me recently that I just wish I had written down. So maybe it's just making a note of things. This has the background of the High Priestess in the book, the Good Knowledge, the Hierophant, Pillars. So all the energies of those different cards, plus like the Strength card, the Knight of Temperance, the Moon, Intuition, using it all, bringing it all together. And if it helps to write it all down, to keep it all in one place so that you can go back and reference it and just sort of see like how often these things happen to you, helping you to maybe connect. You know, the more aware you are of things, the more they tend to happen. So, again, something having to do with messages, with the book, reading Ten of Swords, or maybe some sort of institution, again with work. They said the workplace, or 9 to 5, so again, some sort of institution, things going on at work, maybe not getting caught up in the drama, just saying what it is that you want to say. If you are needing to ask for something, or like maybe you're hoping to receive a promotion, just like kind of stepping up and saying what it is you need. Be more forthright with things. Okay, so to sum all that up, and then I'm going to sum all that up. This is the Enchanted Map Oracle Deck by Colette Baron Reed. Magical Map Shifter, number 25. Metamorphosis. You are in the process of deep and beautiful change. Upright, butterflies earn their wings through great effort. The process of change is often painful, for it is never without losses and sacrifices. If you are to transform from one form to another, a part of you needs to die. Letting go isn't easy, especially when you're used to thinking a certain way about your life and how you live it. Just as a snake sheds its dead skin, or a caterpillar dies so that a butterfly can be born. I'm like, blah, blah, blah. You are required to release your old ideas and embrace a necessary change so you can live your best life. Perhaps you're being asked to let go of low self-worth, a dream that no longer serves you, a relationship that is draining, maybe that having to do with the Four of Wands, and just, you know, it's not giving you what you need, you're not being receptive of it anymore, it's not speaking to you any longer. Despite your fear, you must accept that this is a transformational time for you. There will be some loss involved, but you'll love what you become. So it's all about that becoming too, that process of change, working with different energies, maybe something at work changing. Maybe there's going to be some sort of layoffs or changeovers of positions, people rearranging structure, schedule, that kind of thing. We always have to look at things both ways. So reversed, there are times of chaos and darkness that occur, much like the growing pains experienced by the caterpillar who is in the process of becoming a butterfly. There is a tendency to expect the worst when the first signs of difficulty arise. When something is taken away or unwanted circumstances come to challenge you to let go of old ideas about how life is supposed to be. You are not a victim. Rather, you're experiencing temporary discomfort we all must go through before the beauty is to be revealed. Sometimes, just depending on who this is, whether it's someone you're dealing with, maybe at work or yourself, we all have this sort of tendency to be like, well, it's at least the easy thing to do is victim mode, that kind of thing, or victim mentality, like it said. So reversed, and that's also one of the reasons I put that Katy Perry song in the minor arcana, where she says want to be a victim. Like sometimes we just, don't want to take responsibility for things, and it's easier to go into that victim mentality. But I think this is like saying to embrace the change, don't like pass off issues, problems, sort of just allow there to be change within yourself, within your life, to allow newness in, again with the Four of Cups. He looks like he's juggling all these different things. There's a compass, a heart, a scroll, I think a bug, a beetle, a horse with wings. I'm not sure what all these are, but it's like maybe all these different parts of his personality juggling, circling around. He has this like sort of mask on that doesn't look like he can see, but he's able to like magically circulate this energy. I think of like the astrological cycle and just the different signs, and maybe the mask that we wear, your rising sign, the ascendant sign, the mask that you wear when you're meeting new people, that kind of thing. If you maybe are starting a new job and you're unsure about how to go in and how to get to know people or something like that, and so it's like maybe taking off a mask, choosing one of these, or just kind of going with that change and allowing one thing to transform into another and build and layer on itself and bring new beauty about, as with every layer that, 52 maybe, 7, also the road to truth, 7 being the spiritual number. So yeah, really, again, we have the High Priestess background here and a lot of water and sword, like a lot of thought, a lot of intuition, guidance, just sort of going with the flow, but staying aware, conscious, awake of things that could potentially come in that, or people at work that may not have your best interests in mind. So that was the general reading. I thought I'd pull one oracle card for like spiritual advice and then do a little short love reading. So this is the Winged Enchantment Oracle deck. They're all birds. So for Scorpio, ostrich, 23. So again, kind of like that butterfly, like just like merging, spreading out your wings, like it just looks like it's taking up this entire card with all its feathers, just really dense, like almost like flowers too, feathers, beating. Again, she has this like ostrich mask on, so they're big. I don't know. Maybe that bird means something to you, or robin. Let's read this. 23 or 5. Again, that's a change, and I think I did mention the 5 of Pentacles in this, or this card maybe. So some kind of change having to do with work or your finances or how you feel within a group setting, environment. How you feel like if you're getting your point across clearly enough. So, this is ostrich. I am ostrich, one of the great connector birds. I am the odd man out. I am acceptance. I am that which is not obvious. As an earthbound bird, I have a firmer grasp on what it takes to ground the world as spirit. I belong to both worlds at once, striking the balance, finding the harmony. If you have found me, it is time to bring those messages you hear back down to earth. No wisdom does service to the world if it is left to rattle around in your head. Some people fill up so much on spiritual knowledge they forget to share. Others simply fail to come back down. The higher worlds are mesmerizing, but like me, you are earthbound for a reason. Find a creative outlet, tell a story, make a move, raise your head, and keep your eyes on the prize. Again, like that, raise your head, like Four of Cups, and keep your eyes on the prize. I am a quick runner and can show you how to quickly spread your newfound wisdom. I think it's spreading out of things. Maybe a little peacocking, I don't know. Perhaps you already know your best angle and have simply come to ensure that you follow it through. You are channeling. You are bringing something forth. You are of the earth. You are ostrich. So it's about also staying grounded. We do have a lot of water and some fire and air energy, a lot of that. So finding some sort of grounding, knowing that you're both spiritual and physical. So finding, again, that balance, bringing the ethers into reality, trying to figure out a way to incorporate maybe more spirituality into your daily life. Maybe just taking 5 minutes out to meditate and to, think about what it is that connects you to something greater than yourself. Maybe understanding your potential to connect with others, whether or not, like it says, earthbound or you're able to fly, but it is about maybe feeling maybe unnatural in your environment and finding that footing anyways, and he just looks kind of like he's dominating the area that he's in, so just finding your footing and standing strong there, and finding ways to open up new channels of communication, perhaps spiritually or within a relationship, to maybe bring that into your daily life more so. It's about having one foot in both worlds, the spiritual side and the physical, our physical reality. So I think that kind of speaks to the Hierophant and the High Priestess a little bit, which both card energies were in these, I should say the name of it, it's Pixies, Lenormand, combination, astounding combination. Yeah, so it's being connected also to something above with the Queen of Swords, using your mind, using maybe finding new ways to connect, finding new ways that aren't the norm, that that feel right to you, that are that speak to you in a way. We can often go on all these different sites, YouTube, and hear all these like spiritual, like just new age type beliefs, or maybe religious type beliefs, things that were taught growing up, and spiritual books you can find anywhere. Like maybe it's just like really trying to figure out a way that you best connect to something, to the universe, to maybe experimenting a little bit with that, allowing again change, acceptance, and allowing knowledge, information, experiences in, letting spirit sort of take the reins in that sense. I think if you are open to things coming in and to new perceptions and new perspectives and new understandings of the spiritual world, realm, and how to incorporate that into your life, then spirit kind of, the universe meets you halfway and provides those experiences for you that you could never have, like, maybe even manifested on your own or created on your own, and to just go with that, to go with those little clues, those hints, or those experiences that come into your life unexpectedly, and all of a sudden you see things in a brand new way. Like I said with the Four of fire, where there's just clarity, there's some sort of aha, epiphany kind of thing, moments of clarity that are being offered to you, and making sure that you stay awake and aware of those things that could potentially be enlightening, I want to say, and offer you more personal transformation, new ways of spreading your knowledge base, spreading your wings, yeah, bringing that mental, that air, that spiritual realm back down to earth, and maybe just getting out into nature too. So, okay, so on to the romance side of this reading, or just relationship type advice. There's this Decameron deck. It's kind of like Kama Sutra. I've only been able to find, I feel like it's very divided how the cards that you can find online, they're either like these like romance angel, like a little bit cheesy in my opinion, or these like erotic tarot, a little bit, not a ton of options. So let's see, as a foundational point, for Scorpio, love, relationship, advice, maybe connecting to another, or just ways to deepen your relationship. Libra, justice. Again, maybe finding, let's show you these cards, finding some sort of balance within your relationship or within yourself. You know, just making sure that balance is a priority. The scales here, and she's kind of blindfolded, and I just want to say ready and waiting, or like, you know, it's kind of scary, all these like skulls, and like, maybe she's feeling vulnerable, like she can't see, just opening up, being vulnerable with your partner, or whoever it is you're in a relationship with. Maybe finding someone that allows you to feel vulnerable, like if you're a girl, feminine, if you're a guy, masculine, like just vulnerable in whatever capacity that maybe is new or surprising to you. Someone just makes you feel like fresh, or like open, I guess, or trusting. Again, I think with the blindfold, and there's a lot of that coming through. You know, there are all these masks that people have been wearing, and talking about the fox here. Maybe you find someone very attractive and sexy and all that, but you're not sure that you can trust them. So again, I think it's about opening up and having conversations. Maybe not opening up all at once, you know, step by step, letting conversation build, relationships build, that kind of thing. But in order to trust, you know, it has something to do with exposing yourself to someone that you feel might understand where you're coming from. So you can be in this kind of vulnerable situation, learning to see without your vision, learning to feel your environment, learning to just sort of maybe, I think, like sensual, kind of like physical, again, connecting on a more physical level, but there having to be some sort of level of trust and finding that balance within whatever it is you're needing to find balance with. So for the Romance Angel Oracle cards, for Scorpio, I mean, Libra is all about fairness, just, you know, what's right, balance, harmony. We mentioned harmony before, just sort of relating, seeing eye to eye with someone, or balancing that sort of masculine, feminine energy, activities, ways of connecting, maybe switching off, being more like receptive, more outgoing, in your relationship, letting someone else take the reins too, like, it's starting to sound very sexual, but like, you know, letting someone else step up and sort of show you how they, you know, can take care of you in the relationship, and then letting that switch and how you can kind of step it up, and how you show up in the relationship, and just kind of taking turns, maybe like, if it's like talking about like a date night or something, you know, like switching off who plans it, that kind of thing, just finding some sort of balance in that way, in a more physical reality type way, that you can actually see like the results of, I want to say, like, you're just doing fun activities, like like if you know someone's like favorite things, if you're in that sort of place in a relationship and you know someone, you both know each other's like tastes and that kind of thing, maybe showing up with a person's like favorite food and their favorite movie or something like that, and just surprising them that way. Something they've been wanting to do, or maybe that's talking about the person you're in a relationship with, and they're trying to find new ways to relate to you, to connect with you, to balance out in the relationship. Especially, you did say like the 9 to 5 before. Maybe someone, and also working from home, so maybe there's that balance that you're trying to strike within your relationship, and who brings in, the baby, that kind of thing. Or just, it's kind of, I think, with Queen of Swords, who has experience, a lot of life experience, and Libra, Justice, another air, kind of boundaries, drawing a line maybe, drawing boundaries within a relationship, just saying right out from the get-go what it is you want, what you're looking for, just being clear in that way, so there can be that like level foundation, good foundation to build upon. But I do think it's about like I was going to say something before I went on that tangent and forgot. And just because it's not like you're always, sometimes it's about rebalancing too, as new things come in and things go out, and new experiences, workday, all that, rebalancing yourself emotionally, physically, mentally, and within any partnerships, relationships, work even. But it's about finding, I think this is someone who like makes up their own rules in a sense, and within their partnership or whatever that it is they're looking for, is the kind of person who, or a relationship that they make their own rules. Like they figure out what works for them, staying home, going to work, like who brings in the money, that kind of thing. How do they find balance? How do they make time for each other? Like they very much like maybe don't go with the conventional route, like I think you mentioned in another card, but they are, they kind of steer their own way, figure out what works for them on an individual level and also in a relationship sense. But like just they figure out their own way, make their own rules. So and they find balance that way. So maybe it's about just opening up and talking more about how someone else can show up in your life, and how, I'm just going on a lot of tangents here, but okay, so Scorpio, sum us up, sum up the love portion of this reading for Scorpio. Maybe I'll pull two for those that are in relationships and those that are single. So for singles first, Scorpio, single Scorpios. Stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. She looks like she's making some sort of like offer to a statue. So maybe it's about getting out there and finding real, like, sort of ways of connecting with someone instead of a statue. Or just knowing what it is you want and just being comfortable with yourself and being positive in that way. She looks pretty happy. All these flowers and just outside and kind of a cute dress and very Grecian and makes me think of Chanel resort collection. All the cypress trees. Just staying optimistic, yeah. Letting good things come to you. And making the effort to bring those things to you. So if you haven't been getting out there. Staying optimistic, connecting with others. Maybe not for the, end goal of a relationship, but just letting what comes about come about, and just getting it out there with new network circles, and just if you are going on dates, being positive and all that. So for those in relationships, or if you're dating someone, I think long-term relations more so, but you decide how these fit for you. So there's a relationship reading for Scorpios in relationships. free yourself. I think we did mention about like relationship, maybe running this course or something earlier. Free yourself. It's time to take back control of your life. So maybe you've been feeling like your relationship is just kind of taking over, and you're not really sure what to do about it. You're kind of looking for that solution of how to maybe reconnect with yourself, how to feel free, how to find that time for yourself. Looking out of this like pen, this like cage, it's like a unicorn. It's very, I think of like The Last Unicorn. I don't know if I've mentioned that in readings before, but it was like this weird 80s movie that like was really trippy. And I don't know why my parents let me watch it, because there's like all these references you look back on now and you're like, oh my god, this was so dirty. Like, it's such a weird movie. Maybe I'll try to find it. I know it's on, like, you can find it online on YouTube, so maybe I'll put a link for that. And it's a good movie to watch if you're bored and have nothing to do. So anyways, maybe just feeling like you have a lot of potential, but you feel caged in by whatever circumstances or relationships. So let's see if it says anything for yourself. It does not have numbers, so here we go. Like the unicorn image of this card, you may be feeling trapped. Perhaps maybe you've relinquished control to someone else, or you feel smothered in your career or relationship. As you tune into yourself, you'll sense the specific areas where this message applies to you. And you can ask yourself if you feel restrained or limited in any sense, and where that is and why. Kind of pinpoint. You're projecting, and that's actually not the case at all. And just a few adjustments, again, with like the scales, Libra, just making a few adjustments to whatever it is that's bothering you or making you feel caged in, or maybe not so optimistic. Adjusting maybe your routine, maybe just your perceptions on things, maybe by talking, understanding that you've been projecting the whole time, that's not actually the issue, or just, by finding more time for yourself, you're able to bring in more balance. This card comes to you from the romance angels because they've heard your call for great love. To experience passion, though, you must first allow yourself to feel deep emotions. So maybe that's like going deep again, like not staying on that surface level. If it is like some sort of emotional, intuitive, spiritual gift coming in, or connection, loving gesture, that kind of thing, that just opens you up and helps you to change, like allowing that in. Allowing yourself to feel the deep emotions, to go there, to connect. In doing so, you may come up against areas in your life where you harbor discontent. Simply by acknowledging these areas, you bring to light the situation and allow room for your angels to help you. As you commit to taking back control of your life, your feelings will naturally thaw and reawaken. This leads to greater capacity to love yourself, your partner, and your experiences. So yeah, just asking yourself where it is that you feel unhappy or constrained, or, if it is a relationship, maybe just taking some time for yourself, getting away for a day to just reconnect to whatever it is that makes you feel balanced, stable, in harmony with yourself, with your surroundings, within your life, in your partnership. It makes you feel happy, awake, alive, connected to Earth, maybe, to your thoughts, connecting your thoughts to reality, bringing things into reality, what it is you desire, what it is that you're passionate about, what it is that makes you feel connected to someone else, opening up, allowing people to feel vulnerable and trusting with you, or you feeling that way, but just allowing there to be that space, that openness, of that freedom of expression, that freedom of to think maybe unconventionally about something, to think outside the box, whatever it is that you're encountering or experiencing or going through, whether it's a relationship or at work, just trying to find new solutions maybe. Maybe just being resourceful again, and like doing some research, or looking into things a little bit more, making some adjustments to whatever it is that may help you, and just staying optimistic, positive, seeing the bigger picture, knowing that everything will pass, and all that. So not getting too caught up in the drama at work if there is drama, or trying to find that balance at home. Maybe setting up a space at home to work that helps you to feel more like, like this is your personal space, and you can feel like free to be yourself in that space. No one's going to bother you, that kind of thing. Maybe that would help you feel more in control, like you have your own sort of retreat within your household, or from, daily life, that kind of thing. Yeah, so I hope that this was helpful, Scorpio. Thanks for watching, and yeah, check out the links below if you have time. All right, bye.